Hey, what's up guys? We're going to be reacting to how to find Pokemon cards for a steal. You guys know how I feel about Facebook Marketplace. That's where I sell a majority of my Pokemon investments and collections when I have, I buy too much. I chose today's video because I think it's a very important tool to use, especially in a Pokemon bull run, how to find products cheaper than you would on, let's say, TCG Player or even eBay. I haven't watched this video, so let's get into it together. I'll also be leaving all of his information, link to this video in the description down below.
The secret isn't just luck, it's knowing exactly where and how to hunt for deals that others miss. As someone who spent countless hours searching for Pokemon card steals, I'm going to show you the exact strategy for finding incredible deals on Facebook Marketplace, local Facebook groups, and OfferUp. Finding Pokemon cards at a bargain price isn't just about saving money, it's about creating opportunities, because when you buy low, you can either trade up for cards you actually want or sell for a profit. It really is being like a Pokemon card treasure hunter.
And the reason why this is important is because there's so many people on these like secondhand sites that either just want to get rid of their collection for, let's say, a wedding, a pregnancy on the way. There's always deals out there. And then there's also just people that want to trade. I find a lot of deals from people that are like, hey, do you have any, they're like, oh, I got a Team Rocket, Destined Rivals ETB. And I was like, oh, I got some Celebrations collection boxes. Would you kind of be interested in some of that? They're like, oh yeah, I love Celebrations. Let's do a quick trade. Even though the trades don't line up the dollar amount one for one, you are going to find good deals. And I met a lot of good people also on these secondary sites, the Facebook marketplaces and the OfferUps. Not everyone is a scalper, so.
And I'm about to share the treasure map with you. The digital gold mines, where to start your hunt. The places I consistently check for Pokemon card deals are Facebook Marketplace, local Facebook group, and OfferUp. These platforms are absolute gold mines for finding collections, or people who mainly just want to sell quickly. What makes these platforms so special is that they have the possibility to connect you directly with local sellers who often prioritize convenience over maximizing profit. So unlike eBay or TCG Player, where people are always doing market price research, many Facebook and OfferUp sellers just want their cards gone without the hassle of individual pricing.
That's exactly why I sell on Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. It's just so easy when I have to go back and forth with someone at a card. I mean, card show would be my second option, but when I have to go back and forth with someone online, it's plus the shipping, and it's like I just want to hand you the booster box. I also want to talk Pokemon with a fellow Pokemon nerd like myself. So it is way easier to do it on one of these. Your drive is the last person I sold my last big bundle. I sold Astral Radiance, a Silver Tempest. I don't know why I'm counting with this hand. Fusion Strike. And all of my collection boxes was like this super sweet girl that drove from Chico, which is like an hour and a half away from me. And I got to talk to her back and forth, and I was like, oh, are you gonna like use this for your sealed collection? And she's like, no, I'm gonna rip it all. Like, I'm just this Saturday, I'm gonna stay in my house and I'm gonna have a glass of wine and just rip them all. And I was like, that is so cool. I was like, I'm so glad that I went to the right person. So you do get some of those stories. Like I said, it's not all scalpers.
I found everything from vintage holos to modern alt cards as low as 70% on using these platforms. Just last month, I purchased a collection for around $1,000 that had a market value of around $1,500, including several chase cards that I've been looking for. But before you dive into these places, you might be wondering if there's an easier way to score deals without constantly refreshing pages. Now, I must admit, one of the best ways to find Pokemon cards for a steal is through getting them at MSRP, and they get a quick, hassle-free sale without having to list cards individually. If you find yourself really pondering an idea that you're about to spend, let's say, $1,000 on cards, then you may want to start with a lower amount, maybe a couple $100s on someone's card lot. This helps you test the waters without risking too much in capital. Now, if the aim is to get 70% market, it isn't about taking advantage of sellers, it's about finding a price point that works both well with parties. Many sellers
especially right now in a Pokemon bull run, when I was selling all of those booster boxes, I was selling exactly at market, and I literally put no room for negotiation, no wiggle room whatsoever, because things change in the bull market. You can charge, even on these secondhand sites, you can charge not MSRP. You could charge market. Where in a bear market, when product is flowing and Pokemon is again not popular, you're going to have to take a little bit of not a loss unless you bought at MSRP. but it's not the highest premium as you can want. So there is times, and it does vary by the year, obviously. But there is so many amazing deals, like he was saying. There's so much vintage on Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp in these specific groups, so you feel like a little bit better. I would personally recommend, one guy that has a Holo Lugia that has a blurry photo and he only has one thing for sale. Like, that looks a little suspicious. Always make sure you have good feedback. Make sure you talk to them prior. You kind of feel out the situation. It seems a little sketchy. Definitely do not buy. And of course, ask to, see the card, take it onto the sleeve. If there's too many red flags right off the bat, if a deal's too good to be true, it's too good to be true.
May be happy to take 70% of market value for convenience.
And then you can also, as you're expecting the card, right, you guys can renegotiate the price. So, like, you can check the card, like, okay, there's a giant slash on the back. That's happened to one of my friends. He went up, we were skating at the skate park. He went to go see I think it was the Rayquaza from Silver Tempest. And they agreed at a price. I'm not going to say the price, but he flipped the card over and there's literally like a gash on the back. And he's like, bro, I can't take this with this giant gash. And he's like, well, I'll knock so-and-so dollars off. And then they came to an agreement. My friend just wanted one for his binder. And then, these are the reasons why you can get these deals, really good situations from these third-party sites.
Selling everything
Second-hand
all at
sites.
once,
I don't know what you want to
then
call them.
piecing it out over weeks or months. But how exactly do you approach sellers with this offer? That's where effective communication comes in. Communication shortcuts. Crafting the perfect message.
And when it comes to crafting the perfect message for a seller, this is what I do. I like to make lots. I'll bundle in like a Lost Origin booster box with like a Lost Origin ETB, and people will be like, "Oh, can you piece these off?" No. You take it all. This is where you get the deals, right? And then, okay, if I'm taking it all, can you knock off like $20? Oh, of course. This is the beauty. You can't really do that at a card show. I mean, you can't really do that online unless you label it as a bundle. You can make profits like that, but this is how I sell it. I have so much fun doing that and listing that way, but everyone's different.
I use shortcut command keys on Apple devices to make the communication process easier and more efficient. This allows me to quickly send professional, consistent messages to multiple sellers without retyping everything every time. Here's the template that I use, which I'll also include down below in the description. Hi there, I'm interested in your Pokemon card collection. I'm a collector looking to expand my collection and could offer 70% of market value based on current TCG player prices. I can pay cash or Zelle and pick up today if you're interested. Let me know if that works for you. I think part of the reason why I get people to agree to this is because I can tell them that I'll pick up today and pay via cash or Zelle. This confirmation or assurance makes me stand out as a buyer. When sellers have multiple interested parties, being the one who can complete the transaction immediately gives you a really big advantage. The key elements that make this message effective are, number one, establishing yourself as a collector and not a reseller.
Yeah, all that is good stuff. He nailed it right on the head. You make sure that you're available today. I don't know. I'm trying to sell some snowboarding gear right now, FYI. And I have like 10 people that said, we agreed to an offer. He's like, oh, 300, sure. 250, okay, sure. The next guy, 275, cool, yeah, sure. And then ghost. We all know a situation like that. If you're an experienced person on these apps, don't waste people's time. Just pick it up that day. At the end of I understand we all work. We have things to do. If people have kids, just like, hey, today, if you say today with some cash in hand, it's going to be smooth sailing. But also right here, establish yourself as a collector, not a reseller. Like I gave you a good story like 5 seconds ago about my last bundle sale, and it was a pleasant experience. And I did narrow it down between 3 people of who I was going to sell it, who I was like going to. The deal was pretty much the same, but the moment the girl told me that she wasn't a reseller, she could have lied to me. But the other 2 gentlemen literally told me that they're just here for the resale. So I went with the person that was a collector, but then further notice, she wanted to rip it off, which is even better.
Number 2, offering a specific percentage of market value. 3, providing payment options that are not reversible. 4, and emphasizing immediate pickup. But what happens when sellers don't immediately jump at your offer? Let's talk about negotiations. The art of negotiation, when to push and when to walk. Of course, not everyone agrees to the rates that you offer. Sometimes when you offer 70%, people will be offended and think that you're lowballing them. But sometimes people actually are agreeable to 70%. The key is to approach each conversation with respect and understanding.
I think if you're a buyer, yeah, offer 70% because obviously that's going to work in your favor. But if you're a seller, sell at market price or a little bit over so that you guys, I mean, this may not be like just new information. I'm not dropping gems over here, but I sold my Future Strike for what was at the top. It was like $850. So I put it at 9, and then we agreed at like 825. So that's what car lots do. That's what other sales strategies. That's what you do. You set it a little bit higher so you guys can negotiate for a little bit lower price, and then everybody wins. Him talking about 70%, that works sometimes. I think in a not hot market, but I mean if someone takes that offer, to take the offer. Like I said, there's some people that really need the money right now, and it is what it is.
Someone seems offended by your initial offer, you can politely explain your reasoning that I completely understand if that doesn't work for you. The 70% offer accounts for the time and effort I'll need to spend organizing, grading, and finding potential buyers for these individual cards.
See, but that's not like if I'm a seller, I'm like that's I don't care. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter to me. Which you want to buy my stuff at 70% because you want to grade it. We can agree to disagree. I'm not gonna, when I make these reaction videos, I don't have to agree with every single topic. He was spitting facts, and he's probably will continue to spit facts.
You also have to know when to end communication with someone. I've had people who I can tell are wasting my time because they keep going back and forth without really being serious about selling. They're just looking to see what people would offer for their collection. Your time is important.
Yeah, that's true. People will want to, they'll offer you like 10 different prices to kind of gauge where you're at as far as how much you're going to sell, how much lower you're going to get. And then they like to use that as like the market price, when they should just go on TCG Player. It's freaking charts right there. I don't know why you gotta message me 100 times, asking me, oh, yeah, but if, I see on this chart, it's, it's $75, but you're at 80 and you don't want to drop it down. I'm like, dude, but on this product you said that, and then another person, and then I offer something for his next booster box, and then he ghosts me, but he replies to this. It's a giant mess. Just stop wasting people's time. I don't like to negotiate too much when it comes to these products. Like, again, if it's an obviously overlisted product, yeah, offer them what you feel comfortable buying it at. Don't lowball anybody, but I think 70% is a lowball. But again, you guys can agree to disagree.
Make sure not to waste it. Get an idea when someone actually isn't going to sell their collection so that you don't have to spend more time communicating with them. The way I think about it is that as soon as you message someone, there's like an imaginary timer that starts, which you are spending time trying to get this collection. If it takes you like 30 hours of back and forth communication, that's a lot of your time versus someone who might just be willing to easily sell their collection to you within less than 30 minutes. With practice, you'll develop an instinct for which sellers are serious and which are just testing the waters. This brings us to the question of how often can you expect to find these deals? Consistency is key.
So how often can you find these deals? You can, before you even answers, I mean, they're out there all the time, all the damn time. I got alerts on Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. It's just it's finding, getting those alerts and responding like as soon as possible. Asking for trades if I have anything to trade. This is what I do, because most of the time there's a lot of Pokemon degenerates on there that still want something in return, even and even some cash on top. But it's not rare that people are just completely offloading. I did that for a lot of my sealed positions not too long ago. Maybe I made a video 2 months ago talking about me selling a lot of my Sword and Shield. And it was very profitable. It was a fun experience. I kind of also did it for content and for an experiment. I did need some capital, of course. You know, I wanted to go on vacation, stuff like that. But these deals are out there, and there's people that just sometimes just need a little capital to do what for life. I mean, life is tough right now, but like I said, consistency is key. It is key. Always keep those notifications on, and you have to be quick. Like, that's what I've learned. If you can't get, sure, you can. You know, one of my last purchases was a Vivid Voltage ETB, and messaged this guy. I was like, yeah, I can swoop it up in like the next 2 hours or so. And he's like, oh, you can't meet right now. He's like, I got a guy that's like has that's offering to come right now. Is there any way? I'm only out for? I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, I guess. You know, I think if I would have been like, you know what, I want to take a nap and I want to meet you later, that opportunity might have been gone. And I got those Vivid Voltage ETBs for like $40, so huge deal.
Building a deal finding routine. Lately, I've been able to find at least one collection every 1 to 2 weeks at 70% market price. Now, this doesn't happen overnight. It took time to develop a system and build reputation in local buying groups, and my routine usually includes checking Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp every day, setting up alerts for keywords like Pokemon cards, Pokemon collection, or Pokemon illustration rares. I also join local Pokemon Facebook groups and actively participate. I also follow up with previous sellers who might have more cards to sell, and the more consistent you are with your searches, the more likely you are to catch those just listed deals before anyone else sees them. Many of the best deals that I found were listings that had been up for less than an hour. But finding deals is only half the battle. You also need to ensure safe transactions when meeting sellers. Safety first, secure payment methods, and meeting locations.
Yep, you don't be sketchy, you guys. Meet in front of a Safeway, meet at a game, even at an LGS if you have to, or a Target in front of this damn store with hella cameras, and offer cash. Cash is king. Like, you don't want these like chargebacks or Zelle. Zelle is like instant. You know, send a $5 test on Zelle and then send the rest. You know, just real like no-brainer stuff. But I feel like a lot of people still get burned on a lot of these deals, which is still crazy to me. But I would love. We're not gonna watch the entire video, but we're gonna wrap it up there. Where I think that these are excellent strategies. He hit them all right on the head. Shout out to him. I'm going to leave all of his information, palette picks, right in the description down below. And it's a tool. These are tools, and I know not a lot of my viewers are in the United States, so you guys might have some type of version of this, of the Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. But really deep dive into these, because this is how you can kind of get cards for cheap and ahead of the market. I'm not saying that may sound a little scalpy or reselly, but I'm saying like get ahead of the market as far as getting at a good price. You know, get there as many scalpers as there are out there. There still is good people that just also want to help the community, especially in the Facebook groups. A lot of people really value community, and they really shame this like scalping and resellers on there, and they won't sell to certain individuals. But like you said, he created this personality of buying and you know, being trusted, and now people sell to him at 70%. Like, shout out to him. Huge W, especially in a crazy Pokemon bull market. And if you're a seller, you can somehow get an MSRP. And you want to, you know, make a little bit of profits right here. You're not scalping. You're not ripping cards out of a poor grandmother's hands because she's at Target trying to get a birthday present for little Johnny. There's right ways to do it. It's walking the tightrope. But that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. Let me know how you guys feel about today's video. Is he right? Is this a real secret gem that not a lot of people are utilizing? Let me know that, or anything in the comment section down below. Hit a like, hit a subscribe. Till tomorrow, peace out.